friends! Welcome back to my channel. I'm Xoxo, this is Xoxo Tarot, and in today's Pick a Heart reading, we are going to be getting messages for you from someone who loves you. So looking at what we are going to cover in the reading, we are going to start by looking at who this is. And let me point out that there is no limit on who this can be. It's absolutely okay if it sounds like multiple people that you know. It also doesn't have to be exclusive to human beings that are currently alive. It could be from spirits, it could be from pets, it could be from any place you feel in your heart where what I'm describing resonates. So just let that be known. If you have like multiple ideas or if the description fits multiple sources, then just trust that maybe it's coming from all of them and that it doesn't have to make logical sense in that way. Anyway, if it resonates, then we're gonna look at what their message is for you. And I'm not gonna ask specific questions. I'm just gonna leave it open to see what the cards wanna say and what the person who loves you wants you to know. Then we are going to get some guidance from them and just see what useful advice they have for you, and we're going to finish off with a postcard from them / spirit. I'm leaving it open to spirit in this case because the deck that I'm using is literally postcards from spirit, and if you think about it, we all are spirit, so it doesn't really matter whether it's from their human self or their spirit self. But I do want to mention that I don't want to hear or see or read any comments along the lines of nobody loves me, because guess what? That's a lie, buddy. I love you, and so does Bonehilda, and so does the universe. So that's 3 right there. You're wrong, and you should just continue to watch this reading, and hopefully there will be messages there for you that resonate. But I really hope you don't believe that about yourself, and if you do, I urge you to take that belief, set it on fire, and throw the ashes of it on the train tracks. And then whatever ashes remain from being hit by a train, you bury those as deep as you can, and you don't grieve them because they don't belong anywhere. But with that being said, we have 3 different groups for you to choose from today. So starting with group number 1, we are going to be using the Rainbow Heart Tarot, and on top I have this Rainbow Heart. And then for pile group 2, we are going to be using the Good Tarot, which is one of my favorite decks, and we have this Serpentine heart on top. And then finally for pile 3, we are going to be using the Outsiders Tarot, and I have this Lapis Lazuli heart on top. So with that being said, if you guys haven't noticed, my newest candle has been released. It is the Lover's Candle. Shout out to everyone who came to the live that I did with my candle maker, Maggie. She's from Angelic Magic 888, and that is where my candles are sold. You can always use code Xoxo10 for 10% off. But we had a live, and it was so much fun on my Instagram. And it's at World of Xoxo if you want to follow that. Thank you so much to everyone who came, and it was really fun to live stream. I was really afraid to, but you guys were so awesome, and I really want to do more of that. So let me know if that's something you'd be interested in. But this is the newest addition to my tarot candle line. As you may or may not know, every single candle comes with its own mini tarot card inside, and the Lover's Candle also comes with a little rainbow charm in each one, and the scent is strawberries and champagne. So I've actually not seen or smelled this candle in person yet. We're gonna open it together, and as usual, we are going to make a wish, and whatever mini tarot card is inside will be the basis of the mini reading. And shout out to Intro Squad. Thank you guys for being here. If you want to sound off in the comments, feel free to let me know what you love about yourself, about the world, about anything. But with that being said, let's go ahead and see what our mini reading is going to be about. Okay, first of all, okay, I'm so excited. First of all, she smells so good. I'm obsessed. We have the Empress, even more obsessed. We have rose quartz, amethyst, and moonstone inside, as well as lots of glitter, and there's the rainbow charm. So before I get into the mini message, let's go ahead and make a wish together. So if you would like to pause the video and set an intention or just focus your energy on the candle and the wish that you would like to make, feel free to. But I'm just going to take a second to set the intention for this wish. And may yours, mine, and all wishes that are based in the highest good of all beings come true. And also, very important message, use code ASO10 for 10% off any candles you are interested in. And that ASO10 code works for all the candles on her site, not just mine. But let's talk about the Empress. So first of all, I feel like this is a beautiful, beautiful sign that wherever you are right now, you're on the right path. And if you feel like, pardon my French, but shit, this is a sign that you're in a necessary place right now and you're not doing anything wrong. One of the things that the Empress symbolizes is the cycles of creation and going with natural cycles. She is the earthly divine feminine as opposed to the High Priestess, where she already has her candle. She is the spiritual divine feminine, right? And the Empress is all about creativity, fertility. So this could be a positive sign for those of you who are trying to create something, who are needing that energy or needing that inspiration or wondering if now is the time to create. Yes, it absolutely is. But also, this is a sign to pay attention to the cycles of creation and where you are at with them. You know, the cycles of creation kind of mirror the cycles of seasons. Obviously, depending on where you live in the world, seasons are different, but and where I grew up, for example, we traditionally have different seasons for, you know, spring, summer, fall, winter. There's different phases of nature. And two important aspects of creation are decay and death, because renewal is another part of creation, right? And so if you feel like you're in a place right now where you don't have the energy to create, or you don't know why you feel off, or you don't know why you seem to not be able to do more than you would like to, it's probably because you are in a stage right now of decay and death, not in the literal sense, but in the metaphorical sense, that there are things that are not going to serve the future cycles of creation that you're moving into. And so you're going through the process of letting go of that and releasing that so that you can make room for the new as this creation happens. I also have a message for those of you who are pregnant, which congratulations, that this is just a beautiful confirmation that everything is going well and that you don't need to be so hard on yourself, especially if you're worrying a lot about like, oh, am I doing all the right things, or am I putting, the right stuff in my body? I feel like you're being encouraged to be gentle with yourself, and that goes for all of you that are parents. I think you're really being encouraged to be gentle with yourself and gentle with how you perceive yourself to be doing. I also just see this, though, as a reminder that even though you may not feel great, even though you may be struggling, that doesn't mean you're any less worthy. And whether you're feeling great and this is just a confirmation of that and the universe is celebrating it, or if you would like to be in this position and you feel like for whatever reason you're not, it's not a failing on your part, and it's not something you need to be ashamed of. No matter what, like, everything is working out as it's meant to. And wherever you are at currently in your own cycle of evolution, it's exactly where you need to be, and you don't need to place so much stress on where you think you need to be. I think you're being encouraged to focus on where you actually are and how you can support that version of yourself now, and trust that by caring for this current version of yourself, no matter how good you're doing or not, that is what is going to help lead you into the fruitful abundance you're looking for. Like, I guess fruitful abundance is within. And if you're looking for fruitful abundance, look in the mirror. Like, that's where you need to be looking. And not on like a surface level, like way, but in a true way. Like, you are the source of your own abundance. And I also think you're being encouraged to remember that you are a source of healing and nurturing and support and comfort that you may not even realize to other people. And so I think you're just really being encouraged to be caring with yourself, to be patient, and follow the cycles that you're being guided to follow. And instead of trying to make assumptions about where you're at in the cycle, like what that means, instead just be open and observe and be gentle with yourself as you move through this flow. But more than anything, this is a positive sign for any of you that are trying to create something, any of you that are wondering if now is the time to make certain moves. Yes. And I will also say, for those of you who do not want to be pregnant or have that capability, but don't want that, be careful, because this is an extra fertile time. So just make sure you're taking precautions. Shout out to lesbians, because, well, and also the gays. Well, I guess anyone who, shout out to anyone who isn't hetero entirely, because y'all don't really have to worry about that, right? I don't know. We're just, that's that. Okay, so with that being said, we are going to go ahead now and move over to the real reading. So if you need help picking out piles, feel free to pause the video if you need to decide which pile you feel most drawn to. This is a reading where it's absolutely okay to watch more than one. It's quite possible that there are messages for you in more than one reading, and it's quite possible there's more than one being out there that loves you and wants to have messages for you. So if you're drawn to more than one, feel free to check them out. Thank you guys so much for being here and for letting me read for you. And once again, thank you so much to everyone who has been so kind and supportive of me. I love you guys so much, and if there's a message that I can give you, because I love you, is just that, thank you for being here, thank you for being yourself, and thank you for not giving up on your path and your journey. Thank you for showing up for yourself, and thank you for being open and receptive to the love that's around you. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the reading now. Once you've picked your pile or piles, you can go ahead and scroll down to the comment section or the description box where I have all the timestamps listed down below. And once you have picked your pile or piles, I will see you in your reading. Hi there, pile one. Welcome to your reading, and thank you so much for being here. If you guys chose the Rainbow Heart and the Rainbow Heart Tarot, this is going to be your reading on messages from someone or someones who love you. Now, those someones don't just have to be physical humans that you know in the flesh. They can be really anything that resonates with what I'm about to show. If you want a full breakdown of the reading, there is one in the intro. But let's see who this someone that loves you is. So to start, we have Thursaz. We have Black Panther. And we have Light. Okay, So some of you may not know the origins of some of these energies, and that's definitely because it could be ancestors or guides that maybe you have some contact with or have some awareness of, but maybe don't know intimately. There are actually so many, there's so many indications of what this can be. I guess I want to start with the overall meanings. No matter what, this someone who loves you is a light in your life, whether you consciously see it or not. They either are like made of light or they are a light in your life. And if they're a human person, I would definitely think that your relationship with them is one that's maybe not always the most smooth sailing, but it does cultivate a lot of growth. It kind of reminds me of like sisters sometimes. Like, I don't have a sister, but the way I've observed some sisterly relationships, they're like very deep and intense and complex. And oftentimes I see sisters like fighting, having crazy fights, and then just making up 5 minutes later. And it's like, I think that would be an excellent example of like Thursaz energy, because there's just like a lot of fierceness there between the two of you, even though there might be a lot of protection and love there. Because let's talk about the fact that whoever this is, they love you very much and they are protective of you and protecting you. If you currently are going through a phase right now of like feeling really stuck in the dark, I definitely think if this is a person who's aware of that, they feel very protective of you and they want to help you. If this is a spirit, they are definitely with you through this process. I also think that if this is a person, you may view them as bigger than yourself or more powerful than yourself. Whether that's true or not, it would be based in your perception. Also, this could be someone who loves superhero movies. I don't know if both Black Panther and Thor are Marvel franchises. I don't really know much about all of that, but I do know those are both superhero movies. But on another level, this could be someone that was involved in the Black Panther Party, or this could be someone who works with Norwegian, who lives in Norway, or I just almost said something that was so dumb, and like, I'm just gonna keep moving forward. But the Thurisaz also represents the energy of a thorn. It's also like the energy, the threshold between order and chaos. It's connected to Thor, it's connected to thunderstorms, and it's connected to great power and a powerful force that is used to help balance the state of the universe. For example, this rune goes into stories about Thor. One of Thor's jobs was to fight the Titans, I believe it was, which are like these giant spirits, and his job, which that embodied like illness and different forms of illness, at least the way I read about it earlier. If anyone would like to elaborate on that, feel free to do so. But Thor's job was not to eliminate all of these Titans, but rather to eliminate enough of them for humanity to survive, which kind of talks about the importance of like the balance of, opposing forces. And I do feel like this person or spirit is an opposing force to you in the sense that for some of you, this could be your higher self. Like this could be your higher self watching out for you and protecting you, but also guiding you into situations that maybe you wouldn't consciously choose, but you acknowledge are forcing you to grow. Obviously, I don't mean like traumatic, horrible situations that have brought a lot of pain to you. I'm talking about situations where like maybe you're led into, making a decision that really scares you, or you choose to do the thing that you know you need to do rather than the thing you want to do, and you feel like if you choose the thing you want to do, you can't fully enjoy it and you feel like crap for some reason. And it's probably because your higher self is helping you become aware of like what's not aligned. No matter what, this is someone who is very protective over you. And the fact that we have all of these like shining stars and they show up in each and every card, I do think that there are multiple sources of this energy that are conveying this message. And I definitely think that no matter what, this is a benevolent influence in your life that brings a lot of light to your life, whether you see it or not. And this influence not only protects you, but also is intelligent enough to help you grow and pushes you to grow. And you might not always enjoy or appreciate that, but whether you see the wisdom or not in it, you will at some point. So I'm going to use the Astro Dice now and see what signs, planets, and houses may be significant. So we have Scorpio and we have Pluto. So Plutonian energy and Scorpio energy could be significant. This person could be a Scorpio or Sagittarius sun. Sun, or they could have Sagittarius or Pluto in, they could have Pluto in Scorpio or Sagittarius. If you're my age, which is 98, that's Pluto in Sagittarius. And then the people a little bit before 98, Pluto in Scorpio. So that could be significant. We also have the 11th house. So for some of you, maybe this is like an internet friend. The 11th house rules Aquarius energy as well. But we have the sun, which Leo is ruled by, so Leo could also be significant, and Scorpio is ruled by Pluto. So Pluto and Scorpio energy seems to be really pronounced. But also with 11, maybe there's an 11-year age gap, or the number 11 is significant. I would also say too that this is someone that not only do they have a powerful influence in your life, but they really force you to look at things from a more evolved perspective than maybe at times you want to. I feel like this person pushes you to grow. And even though you may not always see the wisdom and why they're pushing you, you understand later. And there may be a lot of gratitude for that. But let's see if there's any significant numbers for this person as well. Okay, we have 9. We have 1. We have 6. Maybe that's an area code. And we have 40. So is that 40 or is it? Yeah, that's 40. So any of these numbers could be significant numbers to this person. But to summarize, whoever this is someone who has a powerful influence in your life that is ultimately one that brings light to your life. This influence, this someone or someone's is very protective over you, but also is protective in a way that is not sheltering you or overbearing in a way that it doesn't allow you to grow. This is an intelligent, protective influence that allows you to make your own mistakes, but also is there to help you pick up the pieces when you do. I would also say that this person who loves you is someone who maybe feels like you don't always see some of the gifts that they're trying to give you or some of the assistance they're trying to give you, but they want you to know that they don't do it because they need you to see it. They do it because they love you, and they want you to know that gratitude is always appreciated, but also you don't need to beat yourself up for when maybe in the past you realize that they could have been doing something to assist you and you were unaware. So the best thing that you can do, I smell like soap, like body wash. I don't know why. Maybe that could be significant, but overall, this is a very protective and loving influence that pushes you to grow and that keeps you safe without towing the line of sheltering you or overprotecting you. So let's go ahead now and see what their message is for you, because we already kind of got some messages. And they could also have signs Scorpio, Sagittarius, Leo. They could be ruled by Pluto or by the sun. I mean, the sun is light, so, and the number 11 or the 11th house could be significant, as well as the numbers 9, 1, 6, and 40. So, okay. Spirit, or not spirit, well, I guess one being that loves you is spirit itself, so count them as one of the lights that love you very much. But the beings that love pile 1 unconditionally, what message do you have for pile 1 that you want to convey at this time? Okay, we have the 8 of Cups. And if I quickly pull a card out, it's because there's specifically, the Empress card in here has like 11 titties, which I think is magnificent. But YouTube has, oh my God, yeah, she's 11 titties, 11. I doubt that this person has 11 titties, but if they did, I would, that's iconic. So yeah, I just might have to be careful because I have to censor nudity because YouTube isn't cool like that. What does pile 1 need to know? What message do you have for them? See? Titties. Oh my God. And on the double this time. All right. Is this crystal going to work? Yeah. Okay. Cool. So we have the Devil. I need a sip of water. What else? What messages do you have for pile 1? We have Death. Ooh, more Scorpio energy. Capricorn energy with the Devil. And finally, one more card, please. What message do you have for pile 1? We have the Ace of Wands. Okay, I'm getting a couple of different messages here, so bear with me. But there's specifically a message for those of you who are moving on from a situation where someone, how do I put this delicately? Someone either played you or someone used you for their own desires, or someone was not who you thought they were and you were very attached to them, and it seems like they didn't give to you what you gave to them. There is a message here specifically coming from these beings that this had to end because you deserve more than lust, point blank. And if you've made the decision to walk away from this situation, and you'll know if that is you because you've already done this, or you feel this resounding like, I'm not getting anything from this situation, I need to move forward. This may have been a very hard thing to do for you with the Devil card here. You could have been very attached to this person, but it seems like whoever this person was, if what I'm saying resonates for you, if not, hold tight. This connection was necessary for your growth, and you're not dumb or wrong or stupid for holding on. And look at how interesting this Ace of Wands is, because it looks so similar to the Black Panther card. And, you know, the Ace of Wands is quite literally the dick card. And I definitely feel like if you have felt a lack of inspiration, a lack of energy, a lack of optimism and passion in life, I definitely think that this connection could have been related to it. And the irony is like, if you were in a situation where, let's say, someone was using you for physical gratification, or if someone was, you know, taking but not giving and expecting you to give a lot to them, I definitely see here that they could have been draining you of your energy. And not only that, but I feel like they also drained you of your creative inspiration. It seems like if you were physically intimate with this person, it seems like they fed off your light. And whoever this person is or spirits are, they definitely are either encouraging you to continue moving forward away from this situation, or if you've needed a sign that this situation is not serving you. And listen, if you're in a loving, healthy, happy relationship, this is not the message for you, right? They're encouraging you to make the decision you know is right and to walk away from what's not serving you. With the Devil and Death, I definitely think that you're going through a transformation right now that will allow for you to not only regain the parts of yourself you feel you've lost, because let's be clear, this doesn't even have to be related to like, let's say, a toxic situationship or something like that. It could also be related to really any situation where you are attached to something that is draining the life out of you rather than feeding life. This Eight of Cups, the Devil and Death, is talking all about you walking away from the things that you feel attached to and that you know have run their course. And I think for some of you, you've already done that. And for others, you are in the process of doing that. And this is encouragement for those of you who haven't made that choice to walk away yet, or made that choice to do something different, or, you know, purge or release what isn't serving you. You are being encouraged to do that on your own, especially because if you do not make that decision, you are just prolonging the suffering you may be experiencing. With this Ace of Wands here, this being that loves you, the beings that love you, let's be real, like there are more than one, they're helping you get your light back. And they want you to know that the decisions that you're making that may be hard, that may be painful, that you may need to grieve over, you will be so happy you made them once you move through this process, because you will be getting your mojo back, instead of giving it to, say, Mojo Jojo, if you've ever seen the Powerpuff Girls. Like, anyone with Mojo Jojo vibes, not for you. You are a Powerpuff Girl, and or guy or person, and you deserve to feel good, to feel loved, and to be in a place where you can express your power. I feel like with the Death card here, you're really being encouraged to let go of preconceived notions you have about yourself, or preconceived notions you have about what these changes mean. If you were attached to certain outcomes that maybe didn't happen or couldn't come to fruition as a result of these endings, I feel like you're really being encouraged to not beat yourself up over that and recognize that it's these very outcomes that were stifling your spirit and ability to create the new and be open to unlimited opportunities. With the Ace of Wands, whatever situation you are in, life was not able to reach you there. And what's so crazy too is like, look at how much the Ace of Wands matches the Black Panther card and the Thurisaz card. Like, if you need strength, help, resources, I feel like these beings are either helping guide you to them, or the guidance that they are giving you right now, or the support that they've been giving you is maybe something that's helping give you the strength to keep moving forward and not turn back. I feel like no matter what, you're really being encouraged to pay attention to what you're still attached to and what you refuse to let die, that you know needs to, because those are the things that are holding you back from your creative wisdom. And for some of you, I'm hearing like, if you're really having trouble taking care of yourself, the best thing that you could do for yourself, I think, is take a shower or bath, and I know that can be really hard when you're in a tough position, but you know, if that's the only thing, if you're only able to do one thing for yourself besides feed and water, please do that. I think it will help you feel a bit better. I'm just smelling body wash again. I don't know why. And there's also a message about you remembering that your purity is in your heart. It's not, and it's not something that anyone can take away from you. And no matter what someone tries to project onto you, your heart has your truth within it, and you don't need to listen to anyone who says that you'll never be enough or that you're not enough. You are a light, and the beings that love you are not only incredibly protective of you, but they're very focused on supporting you as you move through this process. So if you know people in the physical that this description applies to, you're really being encouraged to ask for their help when you need it, and be open about what you're going through, because maybe you're holding on to it all on your own, and maybe you feel a sense of shame or embarrassment about what has ended or what you've had to let go of. And I feel like they're really encouraging you to recognize that you're human and that you don't deserve to beat yourself up about that. Just because you feel those things doesn't mean that they're true. And honestly, if you were in a situation where this is about a person, they should be embarrassed for not saying what they had and treating you the way that they did. So let's be clear there. I think more than anything, the biggest message that they have for you is that everything's going to be okay. And even though you may not know where you're headed, it is better than where you've been. And even though you may not have those by your side that you thought you would when you reach these places, those spots will be filled with people who genuinely love you and genuinely are happy for you and want the best for you. And with the Devil and Death, I definitely think that these beings are assisting you in the process of letting go of what keeps you chained to what doesn't serve you in the first place, what keeps you drained, what keeps you depressed, what keeps you apathetic, what keeps you fearful, what keeps you small. Because your spirit is much bigger than what you perceive yourself to be. And you're a flower that needs to grow in the right soil, and you haven't been for quite a while. And even if this doesn't require a physical movement away from things, it could even just indicate a need to shift your attitude or how you see things. More than anything, though, the light is coming. It's already within you, but there certainly needs to be a period of nourishment, care, gentleness, and rest to allow yourself to process all of the difficult emotions, experiences, processes that come with letting go and releasing and moving forward. I definitely think that for some of you, your body may be in fight or flight mode, and you're really being encouraged to not push yourself to do more than you're capable of, and not shame yourself for whatever that threshold is at the moment. There's a new beginning coming, and it's one that's very exciting. And based in light and based in protection and based in support. And these beings are helping bring that in. And they're encouraging you to continue trusting that you've done the right thing, or that the decisions you feel you need to make are the right thing. And you'll know that in your heart. You know, with the devil and death, once these things are gone, you won't miss them. They won't have the same draw and the same appeal that they once did. And as you go through this transformation, you will realize that these beings, or the universe in general, had your back all along. So let's go ahead and see what guidance these beings have for you. And as I'm cutting the deck, alone time, self-care, enjoy your peace, recharge. So yeah, that might be helpful. Spirit, or not spirit, well, I guess, yes, spirit, but more specifically, the spirits and higher selves, or human selves of those that love pile 1. What guidance do you have for pile 1 as they move through this process of shedding the old and embracing the... Ha! Fuck yes! I love when things are confirmed. Good news is coming. Hard times are over. A new dawn. Maybe breaking dawn is significant. I'm thinking of like this scary Renesmee doll. But yeah, like literally what I said. A new dawn is coming, and you are moving into a much lighter phase of life, and you're being encouraged to not give up hope and not give up faith. What else? Do more of what you love. And honestly, and let me be clear, doing more of what you love can be nothing. I love doing nothing. Doing nothing is one of my favorite things to do. And I think more of us need to do nothing more often. So if you want to do nothing, do nothing. If you want to sleep, sleep. If you want to eat foods that are nourishing, eat foods that are nourishing. If you need an excuse to call in sick or take a day off or take a break from your responsibilities, do it. Because I know that there is no ecstasy like canceled plans and spontaneous freedom. Like, you know how like when you would get off school, or like when you wouldn't have to go to school, and you'd be like thinking about it, there'd be a certain time, and you'd be like, oh, they're all in lunch right now, but it's like, like I'm eating cereal watching SpongeBob, like, and just that joy that brings, like, even that, like, if that's something that you love, just like the comfort of knowing you don't have to be somewhere that you hate, embrace that. But yeah, I definitely think more than anything, this is an encouragement, like, especially the simple things, like listen to the music you love, listen to you know, topics that you love to hear about. Doing can sometimes just be being. So if the thought of doing things is overwhelming, embrace nothing. Listen to a guided meditation if you want, but like, if you love doing nothing, you should not feel ashamed in that, because doing nothing is, I love doing that. And I think that if you do too, you shouldn't feel ashamed of it. Productivity culture is a lot. Anyway, what other guidance do you have for pile 1, please? Clearing, obstacles removed, and making space. Yeah, so I definitely think you are being encouraged to continue letting go and decluttering what is taking up space that doesn't need to be there. And maybe one thing that you'll find you end up loving is just releasing things that don't serve you anymore. You're really just being encouraged to look at your attachments, especially the ones that aren't helpful, and ask yourself, where am I still holding on to this? How can I let go of this? How does holding on to this keep me away from loving myself? How does holding on to this keep me away from loving others? How does holding on to this keep me away from my dreams? And do I still have dreams? Because life can really suck you dry of those. So even that awareness, like if that's a thing, you know, asking yourself, Why did I stop dreaming? What did I used to dream about? How did those shift? And where can I add more dreaminess into my life? Bottom of the deck is lemonade. Make the best of the situation, which is interesting because I was also like hearing Beyonce in my head. I was hearing Drunken Love. Like anytime I see watermelon, I just hear I've been drinking watermelon. And but with Lemonade coming out, maybe the Lemonade album specifically has some messages for you, or maybe Beyonce in general has some messages for you. Talk about a powerful spirit, right? But no matter what, you're really just being encouraged to let go of your expectations around how you think you should purge this or grieve this or move through this, and instead just be present with whatever actually is occurring and ask yourself how you can be the most supportive version of yourself possible, or be the most, or seek that support outside of you as well. Just know that you don't have to go through this alone. So we're gonna go ahead and finish this message off with, and let me be clear, guys, I'm kind of going through this myself, not in like a, this seems really, really intense, and you have my love and support. I would say I've just been tired as hell moving through, you know, purging. I've been purging and releasing a lot within myself and within my environment that's needed to go. And it is exhausting and it takes a lot of time, and my output is affected by that. And I feel guilty about that when I shouldn't, you know? I think what's most important is that you show up and do your best, even if your best is not what you normally would consider your best, you know? Our best isn't a solid, consistent thing. It's fluctuating and changing, just like you and me. Anyway, Spirit and the beings that love pile 1. What postcard or message do you have for them that you would like to finish off with, that conveys all the messages you would like to give? Okay. This one came out pretty dramatically. And there on the card it says you are magical, which I have to agree with. Dear you, what is true for you? Can you be impeccable with your word? Sure you can, as long as it's not used to manipulate others. The truth can set everyone free. Let go of the results, let go of your fears, and allow the truth to empower you and others. This will set into motion a kind of change that will be supportive of you and loving and all kinds of prosperous. This is not a time to compromise and hide your truth from others. Whatever it is you want, go for it and be clear in your motives, especially with yourself. You will be happy you did. This is a time where you will tap into the power to co-create and manifest your best life. Yes! Doesn't that feel amazing? And the results? Miraculous. When you tell the truth and ask the same of others, you can learn a lot from life's bountiful lessons and achieve your dreams. Love you always. This is so powerful and so true and so important. And I just want you to know that, like, you so deserve these fresh beginnings, and the negative feelings that come with letting go of what we're attached to and letting go of what no longer serves us, you know, we have to move through those so that we can make room for, you know, the emotions, the pleasurable emotions we do want to experience, like joy and hope and creativity and passion. And just want you to know that, oh my God, life's bound. Oh wait, no, that, I thought that said life's bountiful lemons, and I was like, lemonade. And, but no, that is just me. Me seeing lemons everywhere, and having less than stellar eyesight. But maybe lemons are a significant fruit, or it makes me think of Volkswagen Beetles. I used to have one. Aw, those are such cute cars. Because I'm pretty sure, I don't know, they used to call certain cars lemons. So I don't know, that could have some significance. I know in Mad Men they make an ad. I don't think it's them, but there is an ad that literally calls the car a lemon. I don't know. Mad Men's a good show, though. You should watch it. But with that being said, pile 1. That is, oh my gosh, you know why you're pile 1? Ace of Wands. Yeah. Beautiful. Pile 1. This is where I'm going to leave your reading. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much for letting my ads play in the background while you do something else, because that is one of the simplest and easiest ways to show appreciation and support for my channel. And thank you so much for being patient with the fact that this is obviously not my most grand reading, but it's what I'm capable of doing right now with the energy I have. If you'd like to support me in other ways, you can like this video, comment down below, let me know how it resonates. You can subscribe if you haven't already, and click that little notification bell to be part of my notification squad. If you want me to see your comment, I usually see comments when I first upload, so be aware of that. Check out my Lovers candle, as well as my other candles. Be sure to use code ASA10 for 10% off if you are interested. I also have my Instagram and merch, as well as other videos with extendeds. But the best thing that you can do for me is be kind to yourself and give yourself some love, because that's what matters the most. So pile one, thank you guys so much for watching and for letting me read for you. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this video, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye! Hi there, Pile 2. Welcome to your reading, and thank you so much for being here. If you guys chose the Serpentine Heart and the Good Tarot, this is going to be your reading on a message from someone who loves you. So we're going to see who that someone is. Obviously, more than one person can fit that description, and you can absolutely take that for more than one person. It also doesn't have to be a physical person. It could be a spirit, really anything that resonates in your heart. Take it as truth. But if you have no idea who this is and this doesn't sound like anyone you know, then maybe try a different pile. So let's see who this person is. We have Gemini, we have Lunio, and we have Truth. Okay, this is so beautiful. You will know if this is your pile, because you will have the description of who this is undeniable, and it could be multiple people, but the core theme here of who this person is that this is someone who you absolutely have so much fun with and love just as much as they love you. This is someone who you feel safe to be your authentic self with. This is someone who brings you a lot of joy, and just any time you spend with them, you find yourself being uplifted, even if you're just like hanging out in the same room. They could be a Gemini or have Gemini placements. Obviously, Gemini is the sign of the twin, so or the twins, plural. So this could be a literal twin, a womb mate, if you will, a spiritual kind, if you believe in that sort of thing. This could also just be like someone who's very similar to you and matches your energy very well. So they don't have to have like a twinny label to kind of like be your twin, if that makes sense. Like a twin in crime, crime. Like I was thinking partners in crime, and then like twin in crime. I just thought that was kind of funny. Honestly though, it would be a really interesting story, writers out there. Twins that do crime. I'm sure that probably already exists. Anyway. I don't know why that was. I just started thinking about Mary-Kate and Ashley. I was like, did Mary-Kate and Ashley do any crime movies? And I'm like, no. Humanity just committed crimes against them constantly. Anyway, with Truth being here, I definitely feel like you get a lot out of your interactions with one another. And I also think that the both of you feel safe enough to not only be completely honest with one another, but to be your weirdest, silliest selves around each other. I feel like y'all are just two peas in a pod, and no matter what, this is a connection too where you feel almost like psychically linked, which you very well could be. I just noticed with the third star here over the third eye, I feel like you know the meme that's like clown to clown communication? I feel like you guys pick up on what the other is thinking, or pick up on what the other person is about to say before they say it. You both are really tuned in with one another, and this is definitely someone who's very special to you, and vice versa. They feel the exact same way, and just know, like, even if you doubt how this person sees you and whether like it's mutual, absolutely. This is like bestie energy. This is romantic partner energy. This is super close family member energy. Whatever it may be for you, this is definitely a very special person in your life, and you're a very special person in theirs. So let's go ahead and see with the Astro Dice if we can get any more information about them. So, Spirit, who is the person that loves pile 2? What signs, planets, and other things could indicate who this is? Okay, we have Aquarius, we have Virgo, We have the North Node. So maybe you guys have the same North Node. We have the 11th house. Maybe you guys met over the internet. So Aquarius and 11th house are similar energies. We also have the sun. So Leo energy could be significant. They could be a Virgo sun, Aquarius sun. They could be a Virgo or Aquarius North Node. I definitely think, though, no matter what, this person is a light in your life and somebody who pushes you to be the best version of yourself. Someone that not forces, but their energy naturally encourages you to think more cosmically. And I definitely think, too, this person is aligned with your future, especially with the North Node in Aquarius. I definitely think that the both of you benefit from your presence with one another because you help align each other with your futures. But let's also look at these numbers and see if there's any significant numbers for this person before we get into your messages. Okay. Well, 3 just came out, so we'll get number 3. And I just thought of this scene from Shrek where Lord Farquaad is like looking at the different princesses, and one of his henchmen is like, "Pick number 3, my lord." And yeah, that, I don't know why that came in. I do know why. It's because I have a problem, but you know, it's fine. Some of you do too. We're all onions here. Okay, anything else? We have 4, 8, and 6. So, wait, 90? Or maybe 90. So maybe they were born in 94 or 93 or 98. Those could be significant. There could be area codes, 348, 483, 498, something like that. But let's go ahead and get into your tarot and see what this message is from this person. This is very to the point. Like, it's kind of hard to mistake energy like this. Either you know who this is, or you don't have someone like this in your life. And which, if you don't, you will if you're like still here. Everyone deserves connections like this in their life. Everyone deserves, you know, people that they can talk to and just be open and honest and speak their truth to. And even in this Gemini card, the tagline is, "I speak my truth." And so I think that you both have like very uplifting conversations that broaden both of your minds and also just help the both of you become better humans. I also think that you lift each other up and build one another up. And I'm also seeing, you guys must be really funny with each other, because I'm also seeing like the Spider-Man meme where like Spider-Man is pointing at another Spider-Man. You guys are really similar, and I think that I'm seeing that scene from Step Brothers where they're like, did we just become best friends? And then they start like running through the house, tearing it apart, doing activities. But anyway, okay, let's see what message this person has for you. I'm really excited to look at that. And while I'm shuffling, if you want to, if you end up enjoying this message, feel free to leave me a little like or subscribe or comment down below who this is, or send this to your person, especially if you watch this and the message is similar, you know, maybe it's mutual. Gemini. And actually, you know, one thing I want to add up to this too is that Lunyo doesn't just talk about like joy individually. It talks about the joy that comes from connection and community and unity with someone or something outside of you. So I definitely think that both of you bring not only a lot of joy to each other's lives, but I think that you inspire other people to not settle for relationships, connections, friendships that are less than stellar, that are draining, that are unfulfilling, that don't serve them. But Spirit, the person that loves pile 2, what message do they have for pile 2 that they would like pile 2 to know? Ooh, we have the Ace of Swords. We have the 2 of Swords. We have the Knight of Cups. We have the King of Swords. Okay, interesting. I'm like deciding if let's only back the deck. Okay, 8 of Wands. All right. These messages are going to differ depending on who this is about. For some of you, if you haven't heard from this person in a while, they're asking you not to worry, and that they are coming in to speak to you soon. And I guess, like, it doesn't really matter who this is. Like, if they've been distant from you and you've been worried that, like, you did something wrong or that they're mad at you, they want you to know that that's not the case. I definitely think that they think about you a lot. And also there's a message here that this person brags about you to their family, or brags about you to someone that they really respect. With the King of Swords and the Knight of Cups here, I definitely think that for some of you, this person is wanting to plan some sort of outing or activity. And if this is like a long distance thing, I feel like they are wanting to make plans that are in person. So whether that is going to take, visas or travel plans or anything like that, I feel like they want to set something up. So if you've been considering that but not wanting to talk about it, like, because you don't want to pressure them, that might be something to be aware of. But there's also a message here about not letting your doubts get in the way of being completely open with this person. One thing that I'm hearing is that it is safe to trust this connection and this relationship, whatever it is. Even in friendships that are like relationships that have been around for years, it's really easy to fall into these traps of like, oh, well, what if they don't actually like me that much? Or what if I do annoy them and they're just too nice to say anything? I feel like this person is really asking you to let go of that because they just absolutely adore you. And I'm hearing too that they kind of view you as like a unicorn. Like, you're so pure and special and important to them, and they feel a lot of the similar fears that you do, or uncertainty that you do, when it comes to, oh, am I annoying? Or, oh, am I too much? Like, no, I think you guys are actually the perfect amount for each other. If this is not platonic, there is a message here that this person is struggling to act on their feelings, but they are considering action. This is kind of interesting because if this is like a romantic situation, one thing that I think they want you to know is that they do plan on communicating with you about some sort of like, I feel like they might want to ask you on a date or like propose something to you, depending on make the connection more serious. For example, if this is a romantic situation. If this is a platonic situation, I definitely think that your person is giving you compliments about your not only your creative abilities, but also your outlook on life. I feel like your person feels very protective over you, and they love that even though you're such a wise and intelligent person, you still have this creative, fun side. And I think one thing that they love is the fact that if you feel like what I just described is something that this person has, they love that you both share that. And with the Two of Swords being here as well, I think they also just want to say thank you, because your influence in their life has really helped them feel more confident to take action in their life that is moving them towards their destiny, and also have helped them see through a lot of illusions that they've had about themselves or about their worthiness or about their deservingness of good opportunities. I also feel like with this Ace of Swords here, the word truth is just coming out so much. And so for some of you, if this is a romantic situation, I feel like there is a truth that needs to come out that they are holding back on telling you because they're overthinking it. And also they may not know how to handle the emotions they're feeling yet, especially because, like, the King of Swords is not the most romantic or lovey-dovey king. Actually, he's the least. So I feel like if this is a romantic situation, this person may be really overthinking the next action they need to take, or they may feel like they need to knock more off the list before they take a step forward. There's definitely, though, romantic feelings that they're not showing, and they want you to know that you can trust your intuition about what's happening. But I definitely think that they are maybe holding back on showing you how much you actually mean to them, because they are afraid of the vulnerability that would come with being honest about that. But it is something that they are moving through. And with this Ace of Swords, like, clarity is coming. And I am hearing as well, if you feel called to, like, you can instigate this. But if you feel like this person, if you've tried to instigate it and you feel like they're holding back a little bit, I would encourage you to let them come to you and just kind of be patient. But I feel like more than anything, though, there is this encouragement here from this person, no matter who they are, to really trust yourself and trust your path and where you're headed. They're really complimenting you on how brilliant you are. And I see, this is so cute. Like, I just see them like wanting to show you off, whoever they are, and like just being very proud of you and being very proud of who you are and proud to like be connected to you in whatever way they are. And I definitely think that there's something that they want to talk to you about, and this could be different for everyone. For some of you, it does just have to do with romantic feelings. For others, it could have to do with like insecurities they've had, or doubts or fears that they've had about, like, you know, am I being annoying, or like, is everything okay? Or also, like, if you guys are wanting to make plans or wanting to do something together, I feel like they're wanting to be honest about the fact that maybe they're unsure of what to do right now, or they may not have the confidence yet or resources to collaborate with you in the way that you're wanting to. And maybe they're afraid if they're honest with you about that, like, you'll be upset with them. But I feel like, or maybe it's switched, maybe you feel that way and maybe they can kind of tell, but they're not bringing it up because they want you to be honest with them. The biggest message that I'm getting is actually not coming from them specifically, but it's coming from a spirit, and it's saying to really give each other the benefit of the doubt and not let your fears and past experiences stop you from being honest with one another. Like, it's obvious you care about each other no matter what kind of relationship this is. And it's obvious that, like, you will both understand. Like if you're worried that you could say something and they take it the wrong way and, like, blow up, like, if that's something you've dealt with people in the past, like, this would never happen. One message I'm getting from this person is they're really asking you to stop underestimating yourself. And start estimating yourself. With the King of Swords here, I feel like they are so blown away by your wisdom and by your ability to speak or write. It seems like you have this, I feel like they feel like you really doubt your own intellectual capabilities, which makes sense because even, like, as I'm doing this reading, I'm feeling this, like, insecurity of, one, first of all, I'm saying like a lot, but into that anyway. You know, gotta torture the people that don't like that. But also, I feel like they want you to know that this wise brain of yours is a lethal weapon, and not in like a, well, I mean, I guess it could be in a literal sense, but obviously we don't condone that. But a lethal weapon in terms of accomplishing your goals and moving forward in life with this, because people underestimate you. And I've been playing a lot of Polytopia recently. It is very fun. Highly do not recommend if you do not have a lot of free time, because it will take up all of it. But, you know, obviously it's a strategy game, or not obviously, it's not obvious that you would know that. It's a strategy game, and I was kind of picturing it in my head as, like, they want you to realize, like, you can really use the fact that people don't see your inherent gifts and skills to your benefit. And they want you to see that, like, just because people underestimate you doesn't mean that they're right. In fact, actually, being underestimated is awesome, because then you have so much room to slay. Like, I will say, as someone who has been underestimated in their life, when you start to do things that you knew in your heart you could do, it's very vindicating. And I feel like they're almost riding on this sense of vindication. Like, I know pile 2 can do what they're going after. I know that they're going to do amazing things, and, like, I not only want to be by their side, but I want them to be in the best position possible to go for their dreams, because I know that like they are so capable, and I know that the world needs whatever you're trying to give or whatever you're trying to do. I also think that there is a message here about not being afraid to ask this person for clarity on anything that you've been holding back on out of fear. I know I kind of already said that, but this Ace of Swords, when it comes to truth, like, could really mean so many things. And it's really dependent on who this person is to you. But I do think that there are certain truths that this person has spoken to you that maybe you don't see about yourself that they really wish you did. They want you to see just how high you can fly and how powerful you are. And I think they also want you to know that your mind is wrong sometimes, like especially when it comes to underestimating yourself and underestimating your gifts and abilities. I feel like they're just really, really proud of you. And if this is a romantic situation, I feel like they are really nervous about something that they need to talk to you about, and so they may be procrastinating and holding back. But if this is platonic or familial, I definitely think that they are struggling to watch you hold back and struggling to watch you doubt yourself. Because if you could feel the belief that they have in you, you would never doubt yourself. And if you believe in them deeply, just know that that goes both ways. And when you doubt yourself, just know like, hey, this person who loves me believes in me and knows that I can do it. Like, if they believe in me, then I've got to believe in me. There's a very real emphasis here on letting go of appearances and trusting in what you feel intuitively, and also not pushing this person away or this situation away because you feel like you don't deserve it, or you feel like you need to be more serious. I think that actually one thing this person wants you to know is that you're a welcome reprieve of like the serious bullshit in life. And for some of you, maybe they've been wanting to spend more time with you, but maybe you haven't been as like open because you've been really busy or something like that. And in that case, I feel like they are wanting to tell you that they miss you, or that they miss spending more time with you, and that they want to have more time with you, because spending time with you, and just even if it's just a conversation, like really uplifts them and is really meaningful for them. So overall, I feel like I know I just went down a lot of different messages really quickly, but I feel like more than anything, this is about remembering who the fuck you are. Like, I'm seeing Edna Mode in my head right now, like, get yourself together, you are Elastigirl, like, you know. So maybe for some of you, you resonate with being Elastigirl, but I feel like this is someone who really believes in you and really believes in your value and in your inherent worthiness of all the wonderful things. And I feel like this person just really cannot wait to watch you accomplish your dreams, and cannot wait to see you do things that even you thought you couldn't do, because it will not only prove them right, but it will also just be so rewarding to watch a person that they love, you know, have the courage to move beyond doubt and fear and go for what they want instead. The tigers could be a significant animal. Take with that what you will. But let's go ahead and see what guidance this person would give you. Actually, no. I want to pull one more card. I feel like there's one more message from this person, and Spirit won't let me let go of that. So the person that loves pile 2, what other message do you have for pile 2? What would you like to say? Oof, that flew. Okay. Call. So yeah, maybe they're wanting you to call them, or maybe you can expect a call from them soon. This is actually the Judgment card, but I think I really like that it uses the word call, because there's so much about communication here. So if you've been feeling called to reach out to them, definitely do so. Or you can expect to hear from them soon. If you've reached out to them and not heard anything, it could be because they're just trying to tie up some loose ends or get some things done. But also, with the Judgment card being here, they want you to know that your impact on their life has been nothing short of transformative. My favorite description of the Judgment card is in an Alice in Wonderland deck. I think it's called Tarot in Wonderland. And it uses the story of Alice in Wonderland, obviously, to describe the tarot. And in the Judgment card, it talks about 2D cards becoming 3D. And I think that's just such an excellent description of the Judgment card, because it's literally transformative change that cannot, excuse me, transformative change that alters you forever and that cannot be undone. And I think that this person really wants you to know that your influence in their life has transformed them in ways that you will never understand. And like, I almost want to cry, and not from a place of sadness, but from a place of like relief and gratitude of just like the influence you've had on them. And if you're the type of person who is really uncomfortable receiving lots of compliments, or if you usually like doubt, excuse me, maybe your throat chakra is blocked, because my throat won't stop itching. Maybe you're a throat goat. But with this card, I definitely think that they don't want you, well, what they do want you to do is just stop underestimating yourself, like I said, but to also, when you start, to just shut the fuck up. Like, and with peace and love, with the utmost peace and love. Like, when you start talking yourself down or being like, nah, I'm not, they're just like, nah, just shut the fuck up. Because you're wrong. And you're minimizing your impact, which is unfair to you. I feel like you have helped this person see what is most important in their life. And you've also just shown them what's truly important. And they're so grateful for that. And they just want you to know that you are so precious and you deserve the absolute world. And for some of you, this person wants to give you the world, especially if it's romantic. And so I definitely feel like one thing about this Judgment card is that they're going through pretty intense transformation. And in that process, their emotions are a lot more powerful than they have been in the past. Like, at least, I'm not saying like their emotions for you, but, you know, depending on who you are, how you process and deal with your emotions is different. And for a lot of people, especially like King of Swords type people, it's pretty easy for them to kind of compartmentalize emotion. Even Virgo, like as a Virgo moon, I know I don't feel my emotions. I look at them from a safe distance and observe them. Just kidding. I have tons of Pisces. So the Virgo wolf is fighting with the Pisces wolf, and the Pisces wolf just wants to feel everything, and the Virgo wolf is like disgusted and horrified at the whole ordeal. But you should never be disgusted and horrified at feeling your emotions. Emotions are just data, and one thing that the King of Swords type people should know and understand is that emotional data is just as valuable as any other forms of data, and it can actually be even more powerful than certain sources of data. So with this call card, I definitely think that they want you to stop judging yourself so much and really just let go of the insecurities that you have around sharing even more of yourself and sharing even more of your truth, because like you can't mess anything up here. You can't, like, unless you did something really messed up to this person, which I know you're not going to do, they're not going anywhere. And same for you. So I feel like they just want to say thank you for existing and for being yourself. And also, for some of you, you will be hearing from them soon. And for others, they just want you to know that the impact that you've had on them has been transformative, transcendental, and truly life-changing in all the best ways. And I feel like they just want to say thank you for that. Thank you for existing, and thank you for being you. You're like heaven sent, 100%. So let's see what guidance they would give you. Then I'm really interested to see what's going to come through here, because there's so many different messages here. I wonder if a lot of people will pick pile 2, which, like, I hope so, because I hope every single one of you here has a relationship like this in your life in some capacity. I hope you have multiple, but At least one. Everybody deserves relationships like this. Truly uplifting, compassionate, loving ones that are just pure. Like, you know, and I think that's the thing is, like, when you've never had a pure friendship, sometimes you can believe that those aren't real. That is until you have a pure one and you're like, oh my God, I will never waste my time with subpar energies again, or subpar, you know, connections again. So the person that loves pile 2, what guidance would you give pile 2 that could be aligned with their highest good? Step out of your comfort zone. Yeah, I definitely think maybe this person has been trying to get you to come visit them. Maybe they're encouraging you to do that. Or if this person has been asking you to do something and you're nervous about that, they're really encouraging you to do something new. I also think, though, that they're encouraging you to do this because they're trying to do the same. And I'm also hearing Umbrella by Rihanna right now. And like told you I'd be here forever is like the specific line. Said I'll always be a friend. Now I'm gonna stick it out till the end. Like, I definitely think that this is a lifelong type of person that you have in your life. So very, very special. What else? What other guidance would they like to give pile 2? Career change. Okay, so for some of you, they are encouraging you to go after the career change that you are wanting, or they are telling you to go for it. If you're not considering a career change, if there is some change that you are considering in general, I feel like I would say that is a sign to go for that. I also think, though, they want you to know that they will support you in whatever you choose to do. So go for what your heart is telling you. What else? We have a new dawn. Good news is coming. Hard times are over. So this good news could be coming from them. Ooh, this could also be something where maybe your person is changing careers, and that could be something that allows for them to move forward, move towards you, or it may give them more time and more freedom, for example, to come see you, or for you to come see them, or if this is like a long distance thing, if they live near you, maybe they will just have more time to spend with you. Or maybe they're just really excited because they can tell that you're stepping into a newer version of yourself as well, and they're excited to see where you both are gonna go. But let's get one more. What other guidance would you give to pile 2? Don't settle. Dream big. There's more for you. Yes! Don't underestimate yourself. Don't settle. Dream big. I completely agree with that. And get out of your shell. And on the back of the deck, we have wait. Take your time, ask for help. More information is coming. So I feel like they're also wanting you to know that they're here to help if you need it. Don't be afraid to ask them for help. Don't be afraid to ask them for assistance. I feel like this person just really loves and cares about you and wants to be there for you in any way possible. So, but they also don't want to like be annoying or pushy or violate your boundaries. So if, you know, if you're withholding from them because you don't want to be annoying or you don't want to bother them with your stuff, I think they actually really want to be bothered with your stuff because your stuff never bothers them, and they don't want you to go through something alone that you don't need to go through alone. I'm hearing this country song in my head. I don't know what it's called. I'm not much of a country listener because it makes me sleepy. I actually like listening to it. It just makes me really sleepy. And my music taste has pretty much just like the same energy as Donnie from the Wild Thornberries. Anything with that vibe. Anyway, I don't know. Just shout out to everyone that like has objectively bad. Like, I don't think my music taste is the best, but it's mine, and it's so hard to just like music. You know what I mean? Because people are just like so judgmental about that. But this person wouldn't be, and I won't judge you. You know, shout out to everyone with bad music taste. I see you, you're valid, and your music taste is not bad. It's just music that you enjoy, and that makes it good. And anyone else who has a problem with it, those are their bad vibes to deal with. Don't know why I went into that rant, but anyway, we're gonna finish this reading off with a postcard from this person / from Spirit. So Spirit, what would this person like to say to pile 2? What would Spirit like pile 2 to know? Okay, we have this little bird, and it says, take flight. Yes, that fits the vibes. Dear you, there is always more than one side to an argument, two sides, if not more, to every story, and hundreds of ways to be right, be different, be at odds, and so on. Today, we suggest that instead of looking for differences, you find a meeting place of agreement and approach this experience with understanding and compassion. Seek common ground to understand how another person thinks or how an alternative plan might be laid. Stay out of judgment, too. Observe, discern, but accept that others have different stories, experiences, and journeys, and some people might refuse to remain open to another's point of view. No matter what, you've been presented with a great opportunity to explore a new way of doing things once common ground is reached. You're attracting people and situations that enrich your life and bring you wonderful things to learn. We love you so much. So I definitely think that this is less from this person and more from spirit. I wonder if there are other opinions that you've been considering when it comes to the moves you've been considering making, and maybe those people don't have your best interests at heart. But also, maybe you've been holding back telling this person something, or maybe even holding back telling this person something because you've had a set plan of how to do it. And maybe this person is encouraging you to just follow your heart and be open to different ways of doing things, especially if you find yourself like assuming what other people think or what other people expect from you. Maybe that's not the case. Like, for example, maybe if you think that you always need to be helping people through acts of service when all someone needs is words of affirmation, like maybe just being open to the fact that maybe the best solution is much easier and less complicated than you're making it out to be. But pile 2, that is where I'm going to leave this reading. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much for letting my ads play in the background while I do something else, or while you do something else. I don't know what I'm going to be doing while you're watching this video. Who knows? Most likely sleeping, but I could be doing anything. I could be looking in your window. Anyway, thank you guys so much for being here. I know this isn't the most like elaborate reading ever. I've been going through my own intense transformations, so I have not had as much energy. So thank you so much for just being here and for supporting me and for understanding and, not going on a tirade in the comments about how I have just changed and, don't care anymore or whatever. Thank you for being kind and treating me like a person. And yeah, thanks for being here. Thanks for letting my ads play in the background. And if you'd like to support me in other ways, you can like this video. You can comment down below. Let me know how it resonates. You can subscribe if you haven't already. And you can click that little notification bell to be notified whenever I upload a new reading. You can check out my merch. You can check out my candles. Be sure to use code ASO10 for 10% off. You can check out my Instagram or any other videos that pique your interest. But that's all I have for you guys. So thank you so much for watching and for letting me read for you. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this video, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye! Hi there, Pile 3. Welcome to your reading, and thank you so much for being here. If you guys chose the Lapis Lazuli Heart and the Outsider's Tarot, this is going to be your reading on messages from someone or someones that love you. So if you want a full breakdown of the reading, as usual, there is one in the intro. And when it comes to who this is, it doesn't have to be exclusive to a physical, alive person. It can be spirits. It can be really anything that resonates with your heart. So let's go ahead and see who this is. So we have peyote. If you have a problem with my pronunciation, take it up with Google. We have Yggdrasil, once again, take it up with Google. And change. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, I actually am going to start off by saying if there is a person that matches what I'm about to talk about, definitely count that. But this goes beyond a person. In fact, this goes beyond, this is the universe. This is the earth. This is the spirit realm. This is your ancestors. This is your higher self. This is literally everything. Everything. This is everything. And that makes so much sense because really at the end of the day, we're all connected and we are all one. And I feel like the universe came to you today, especially Mother Earth and the spirits that love you, to let you know that whatever you're going through and dealing with, everything is going to be okay. We haven't even gone into the messages yet, but I definitely think that it's no coincidence that the entire universe is here because it loves you so much. And I wonder if for some of you, you had a spiritual awakening recently, or a shift spiritually. Maybe you're not really a very spiritual person, but now you're starting to open up to all of these things that maybe you didn't notice before. And now you're starting to be more sensitive to things that you can't necessarily see, especially if you're a more grounded person. But from what I can see here, this is every source of love in the universe. And that includes you. So this message can even be from future you. This is from everyone and everything. And that's just so beautiful. Sorry, I'm burping. But I think the reason I is because I burp a lot in readings when I'm releasing energy, negativity. I promise I'm not just like, well, I am a bit of an ogre, but you know, better out than in, I always say. Anyway, this card talks about being open to what's beyond the material realm. And Yggdrasil is connected to Odin and Norwegian mythology in general. This is a really great deck. It's linked down below. It's the Sunstone Runic Oracle. But specifically, Odin could be reaching out to you. If that resonates for you, congratulations, because they are a wild and super cool being. If you don't have a connection to Odin, but you would like to, please feel free to start looking into that. Also, highly recommend checking out Tending the Mystery at Tending the Mystery on Instagram, MYSTERY. Sorry, I'm not the best at spelling when it's off the top of my head. They are my rune school teacher. Their name is Espen, and they are a fantastic person to learn from or get into contact with if you want to learn more about Norwegian mythology, if you want to learn about the rune spirits, if you want to get closer to all of that. Highly recommend checking them out. But with that being said, this is everything. And just when you feel you know who this source is or a place of where this source is coming from, it's going to change. So this is everything. And I wouldn't be shocked if you've been going through an intense change right now where you've just been like, whoa, there's so much stuff around that I haven't noticed, and there's so much going on that I wouldn't be shocked if this is a time of expansion for you, to put it mildly. So this is going to be interesting in terms of the astro dice. I guess we'll just see what comes through and what messages I get. But Spirit, do you have any specifications or... okay, one of them just fell on the ground, and it is the number 10. Okay, it's the number 10. So Capricorn energy could be significant, but the 10th house is also usually where the midheaven is. So career significance could be something, but 10's also a completion of a cycle. So I wonder if you have just recently completed a cycle. I just feel like you're definitely, you're really out here realizing things is the vibe that I'm getting. Not to sound like a brain dead stoner, but you're really out here like realizing things, man. And like, you don't even need drugs to, just vibes, and like going with the flow. Like you realize like the earth's listening to you, and the moon's listening to you, and like the waves and shit. It's like, it's all here, and it's all love. I don't know why I needed to talk like that. I do know, because I'm a menace. But anyway, we have Pluto, we have Neptune, and we have double Aquarius, which I love because Aquarius is everything, right? Aquarius is all about community. It's all about expansion. It's all about, one thing I love about Aquarius energy is not only is it future oriented, but it's different. It's an outsider, which is fitting because we have the Outsiders Tarot here. So if you're an Aquarius, this could be significant. The fact that we have Pluto and Neptune here really goes to show that there's a lot of intense spiritual energy and transformative energy around you right now. And with Aquarius, it also makes me think of the star, which the star is a tarot card, and it makes me think of hope and healing, and the star is ruled by Aquarius. So I feel like you are coming into contact with more of your light. I definitely feel like all of the beings around you that love you, there's so many. Like, you really can't, whatever comes to your heart, yes. Guardian angels, yes. Ancestors, yes. Gods and goddesses, yes. Like, is it unconditionally loving? Then yes. There's just a lot of powerful, loving energy around you that's guiding you, whether you see it or not. And I feel this intense urge to tell you, like, not to worry, even though we haven't gotten into the messages yet, not to worry about these next steps, because they're unfolding perfectly. And just because you may not know, like, the fact, if you have no clue what you're supposed to be doing or where you're supposed to be going, you're right on track. And if you have a general idea, you may find that things, well, let's wait for the messages. I'll shuffle in a second, but I want to get some significant numbers. Maybe there'll be confirmation. 13, 1313, and the number 30 could all be significant, because I didn't take the sticker off of this. Well, I tried to, but it wouldn't come off. So I was like, well, maybe it's supposed to be on there. So 3131 or 1313 could be significant, but any other numbers that are significant to pile 3? Aha, and you're pile 3. Okay, we have 2, 5, 5, and 60. So 55 could be significant. 62, 26, 25, 52. Any of those numbers can be significant. But let's go ahead and shuffle your tarot. This is the Outsiders Tarot, which is honestly a really cool deck. And I just want to say, for all the deck creators out there, if you are going to change the names and the core card, like, if you're going to change any of the standardized names, if you're going on off of a Rider-Waite structure, doing something like this where you put it in the box or just somewhere easily accessible is so helpful. So I know that's not going to be applicable for a lot of you, but for those tarot creators out there that are super creative, love that you're being creative. Just something like that goes a long way in terms of helping. So shout out to whoever created this deck, because they did an excellent job, and they made it really helpful and easy. Outsiders Tarot. I believe I got it on Etsy if you're interested. Anyway, the beings, the universe, let's just say spirit, because this is spirit and also earth, but I think you've probably already been doing some healing on an earthly level, or maybe you're more of an earthy person and now you're expanding in a more spiritual way, or maybe you're very spiritually expansive and now you are grounding in a more earthly way, and no matter which way, it's both. So it's just the universe. So the universe that loves pile 3 unconditionally, what message do you have for pile 3 that can be most useful for them at this time? Okay, we have the 9 of Cups. What else? I'm hearing Blinding Lights by The Weeknd in my head. We have the 3 of Pentacles. See, like in another deck, Roses is Wands. So then this is a problem, like, only for people like me who have way too many tarot decks and do something like this. So it's really not that big of a deal, but just letting you know if you are a deck creator. We also have the 9 of Pentacles. Woo. And finally, one more. What message do you have for pile 3? Ooh, okay. What's on the bottom of the deck? The 3 of Wands. Okay. This is so wonderful. Okay. Number 1, you have nothing to worry about. In fact, everything that's happening right now, even the things you don't understand, are happening to get you in line with what you truly desire and what your dreams are. 33, 3s and 9s seem to be very significant, and 33 is a master teacher number. So I wonder if there's ascended masters working with you. Just to name some off the top of my head, Jesus is one, Mother Mary is another. Outside of the Christian bubble, there is, which they exist outside the Christian bubble. I'm not Christian, and Jesus and Mother Mary are two of my close pals. But there's Kuan Yin, Ascended Master Yogananda. He's really fascinating. If you've never read his autobiography, Parahamsa Yogananda, I'm probably saying that wrong, but I'm trying not to. He's incredible. You should definitely read his autobiography if you're looking for spiritual books. Just 3 million out of 10. Just such a good book. Another, I already said Kuan Yin. Saint Germain, El Moira, White Matthew. I'm pretty much going off of, there is a book, let me just write it down so you have it. It's called, honestly, anything by Alana Fairchild is great, but Ascended Masters 333 by Alana Fairchild. You may want this book. It may be very helpful for you. If not, the deck by Alana Fairchild called Crystal Masters, or it's not crystals, it's like, she has a deck, well, she has 3 books out that are like, actually she has more than that, but she's incredible. You will not regret getting anything from her. But this is a book in a series. There's Crystal Goddesses 888, Crystal Angels 444, Crystal Stars 1111. But the 333, 444, and 888 books, they're, if getting those books is like out of your budget right now, or if you want the value of all the books but you can't afford to get all of them, or if you want to get a feel for her writing and her vibe, she has a deck called, it's in my room, otherwise I would grab it. It's called like, it's Crystal something, but it summarizes, it has all of the beings in all 3 of those book series all together in one deck. So I would highly recommend that. And I would just highly recommend Alana Fairchild in general. She is just so incredible, and everything that she makes is just gold and super helpful for me. And yeah, send her some love, send her some kindness, buy her stuff. She deserves every penny. Anyway, that might be useful for you. But with this 3 of Pentacles being here and this 9 of Pentacles, you're really being asked to trust in where you're being nudged, and also to trust the nudges you have to ask for help or work with others. Especially with this 3 of Pentacles here, I definitely think that you're being encouraged to not do it all on your own, because even the idea that you already do things on your own is an illusion. The universe is helping you every step of the way. And what's cool is that you not only have the support of the earth, you have the support of the cosmos as well. And with this 9 of Pentacles here, if you're not already in a comfortable financial position, that's very much where you're headed. And with the 4 of Cups here, you are being asked to let go of how you think you need to do things, because that is exactly what is keeping you stuck if you do feel stuck. If you are unsure or unhappy or like questioning where you're meant to go right now, I think one thing you're being encouraged to do is ask yourself where maybe you can add more joy into your life. If you already have some extra cash stowed away, maybe use that to do things that bring you joy, whether that's going to a concert or, going on a shopping spree or doing absolutely nothing in the comfort of your own home and not forcing yourself to do work. Like, even that is really fun. You know what I mean? I think you're really being encouraged to look at where maybe you've been focused on earthly endeavors and what you can do in the physical. I feel like if you've been really focused on that, and you've been brought to a point of comfort, or you've been brought to a point of security through your own independence and through your own creations, the universe is letting you know now that it wants to work with you more consciously. So whatever you're drawn to, which this could be literally anything. Like, for example, if you're drawn to tarot, like, tarot is just a tool. Like, you can use it to get closer to the universe. You can also use it to, I don't know, you can use it to be creative. You can use the box and throw it at someone's head. I wouldn't recommend that, but you could do that. Self-defense, you know? At least I would hope. I don't condone violence, but I do condone self-defensing. There are so many opportunities for you to flourish that the universe is trying to guide you towards, and you may not see them if you're too focused on doing things the way you've already done them and doing things the way you think they should be done. There is a lot of earth energy here. Earth and water energy is here heavily. We've got Pisces, Capricorn, Virgo, and Cancer. And so I definitely think that you're being encouraged to focus less on dynamic action and more on nourishment, more on practical ways of like being there for yourself and caring for yourself. I definitely think that if you've been skipping out on self-care, or if you feel like you need to push even harder or go even further, I think the universe is actually saying, no, actually you could chill out a little bit. I think that this reminds me exactly of that SpongeBob episode where SpongeBob, Patrick, and Squidward get stranded, and SpongeBob and Patrick have this magic conch. It's essentially like a magic 8-ball, except it talks, and you know, they ask it questions and it answers. And so they're stranded out in the wilderness, and obviously Squidward, being Squidward, you know, he does not respect the magic conch or her guidance. So he's freaking out about them being in the wilderness and trying to set up shelter and survival and really stressing himself out. But SpongeBob and Patrick sit there and do nothing because the conch told them to do nothing. And in the span of that occurrence, while they're sitting and doing nothing, a giant feast falls out of a plane above them. Don't ask me about plane physics in the SpongeBob cinematic television universe. I don't know. But food falls out of a plane for SpongeBob and Patrick, and then Squidward looks really dumb because he didn't listen to the conch, and he stressed himself out and wasted a ton of energy and didn't really get very far. He also has a really bad attitude, and that is normal when you're working yourself to the bone and you're fatigued and you're frustrated and you're angry, and it just doesn't need to be that way. And so the reason, this long convoluted explanation was to say that you can trust your guidance that you're getting from the universe, even if it seems it doesn't make sense. Don't be Squidward, be SpongeBob and Patrick. Listen to your magic conch, which, like, shells are a representation of your intuition, of the high priestess. And I think one thing that they are asking you to do is trust your intuition more, because it's brought you here. And if you can look at where you are now and how far you've come, you can realize, like, okay, I don't need to logically know where I'm headed in order to know it's better than where I've been. And I feel like, once again, that message of whatever you've already reaped, make sure you're not discounting how much you have. You know how, like, the more you get, the less you feel like you have sometimes? I feel like you're really being encouraged to take stock of what you've accumulated and what you've gotten and find gratitude for that. Now, I don't think all of you are in this Nine of Pentacles position yet. I feel like for a lot of you, you may actually be, that may be your goal, to be independent, like financially comfortable, on your own, independent, and doing something that you love that makes you really happy. And this is a confirmation that you are meant to do that. But you may be really focused on doing it in a way that you think it needs to be done, when in reality, the universe has a much faster or much more beneficial way for you to get there. But it requires you letting go of your preconceived notions and being willing to not only ask for help, but use whatever resources you do have to create channels of connection and communication with the sources that are trying to guide you. So I would actually highly encourage you to look into some form of divination if you are comfortable with that. I definitely think that you're in this position right now where you're needing to realize that even when you're doing something alone, you're not really doing it alone. Like, you are guided by forces that you can't even see or realize. And I also think with this the Four of Pentacles, this Four of Cups being here, I think that the universe is sending you a lot of messages that you may not notice because you either expect them to come in a certain way, or you're so focused on what you think you need to be doing that you're missing out on what the universe is actually trying to get you to do. Which I think for some of you, the universe is really encouraging you to spend more time imagining. I think it was George Carlin that said that everybody should spend an hour a day like daydreaming. I don't think that's very realistic in this day and age, but I do think this sentiment is correct. Daydreaming is very important, and I feel like there are solutions that want to come to you that maybe you're not aware of because you've been very focused on dynamic action. I think you're really being encouraged to embrace the more gentle, nurturing parts of yourself and kind of let go of the need for answers right now, because the answers are coming to you naturally. And I think that you're being encouraged to have the courage to not know what the best thing is to do, and instead just be. And just, when you have that time on your own, when you have that free time, instead of being focused on, oh, what are all the things I could do, instead be like, I'm just gonna sit and stare outside. Like, people watch, vibe under a tree, just sit with yourself. Because I definitely think that there's not only an encouragement for you to start going within, but this isn't even necessarily about like meditating and going really deep, but rather just sitting with yourself and noticing what you're feeling, noticing, how are your energy levels? Do you feel good? Are there things you could delegate to other people? Where are you maybe not giving enough to yourself? There's a lot here about recognizing that you can be independent, but dependence on independence will ultimately hold you back. I do think that you are in a cycle of like your own personal journey. And I think actually one thing that might be frustrating is you may feel like the guidance that you're looking for, or the guidance, it's like you want someone to come and tell you what's going on. Oh my God, I understand this so much. Like, you just want someone to come and tell you and be like, hey, here's where you're at, here's where you're going, here's why this is happening. But those answers come in hindsight, unfortunately. That's life. And so, you just have to trust in where you're being guided to, and trust that when you feel this sense of like, I just need to rest, or I just need a break, give yourself that break. Give yourself that time to do things that make you happy. Give yourself time to daydream and fantasize and think about where you want to be in the future, what you want to experience. And also take the time to enjoy the fruits of your labor you've already reaped, and recognize that with added resources, you can use some of those resources to allocate tasks to other people that maybe you don't want to do. Like, for example, if cleaning your house takes a lot of time, if you can afford it, maybe hiring someone to come and clean for you every now and then, so that, you can just spend the day doing something that's fun or artistic, or spend time with people that, you enjoy being around. There's also a message here that if you're considering quitting your job to do something that's actually meaningful to you, I feel like there's a positive sign here that, like, yeah, but I'm not gonna just say that so recklessly. Like, you're definitely being encouraged to be smart with the resources that you do have, but trust that there's so much more coming. Like, whether you're trying to get to a position where you're financially secure, or you're already in a position of financial security and you're just wondering what's next is something much deeper than just what's in the material. And I think that if you already reached the position that you were hoping to be at, you may have realized like, oh, I feel exactly the same as I did before. Crap. Why? Like, this doesn't make me as happy as I thought it would. And it's because oftentimes like what we truly desire is not what we think it is, you know? Like, sometimes we think we desire a leadership role in a high-paying job, which is like, yeah, I think we all want to get paid well. That's normal. But, you know, that money won't keep you warm at night. Like, now, I do believe that money can and does buy you happiness, and if you don't agree with that, you just don't know where to shop. But I feel like that's only to a degree. After you can cover your basic needs and have some, eventually it reaches a point where it's like, it's not going to do more for you. I think there was a scientific study that actually found a threshold of like where money can like actually improve your life, and then where it doesn't really make much of an impact. And, you know, some of the richest people in the world are some of the least abundant people and the most unhappy. And I think that if you've reached a point where you've had more abundance than you've ever had, you're really being encouraged to recognize that trying to cultivate even more is not going to fix what's going on internally. That actually what you truly desire is deeper than that. And whatever you have cultivated, pay attention to how you can use that to support yourself, or at least even give yourself time and space to do nothing. You know, if you can afford to like take a year off and just vibe, do it. Like, well, I mean, obviously do what feels right for you, but I more than anything, I feel like the universe is saying that you're not going to find the answers you're looking for outside of you. You're going to find the answers you're looking for in the emotional experiences you're trying to manifest. So if you're trying to, let's use the example I was talking about. If you want to be, let's say you want to be a CEO. Do you really want to be a CEO, or do you want to be paid really well, be in control of your own destiny, and be respected? You can do that without being a CEO. Well, I guess like if you're an entrepreneur, you kind of are one. But like maybe you want to be an entrepreneur, not working for a corporation, say for example. Or maybe this has nothing to do with work. Maybe you don't want to work at all, which mood. Finding ways, maybe I do something that is not the most fulfilling, but does well enough or gives me enough time off that I can go do things that I actually enjoy. I really think that the kind of weird, I feel like I am trying to pull at answers and messages that are not coming. And I'm not gonna lie, y'all, it's really frustrating me, but I feel like that's what you're going through right now. It's like you're trying to get objective answers, objective plans, objective things to do, but really what you're being told to do is just enjoy what you've already done. Okay, we've got 2 cards that are wanting to fall off. Ha! Magician in the world. I love that. So you are finishing out a cycle, and you're being called to take time to reflect on what you've learned from this cycle, and pay attention to that, because you're manifesting or creating the next phase of your life. And I think what the universe wants you to pay attention to is, what do you already have that you thought would complete you that hasn't? Why do you think that is? And what do you think is underneath what you desire? So like another example that I'm thinking of is like a lot of people desire to be like a famous musician, right? Which there's nothing inherently wrong with that, but anyone who's been in that position says all the time about like how soul crushing it is, and how dehumanizing it is, and how traumatic it is. And you know, that experience, is it do you really desire to be under the thumb of a corporation, or do you really desire to be seen? Do you desire to have your voice be heard? Do you desire to share your gifts with the world? I feel like you're really being encouraged to look at the core desires underneath what you think those desires are in, and instead like take them out of where you think they exist, and instead ask yourself, could I have that emotional experience now in some way? Maybe in a different form, but does it exist outside of myself, and can I find it? this is a next phase for you, and you're really being asked not only to dream big, but to think bigger and less practically, actually. The abundant universe provides, and I actually think you are learning lessons in abundance right now and recognizing that when you truly need something, you will get it. And when you need your needs to be met, like, the universe will help you. But it's really hard to listen to those nudges when you're in your head or you're constantly worried about what you should be doing or how you should go about it. I also feel like you're being encouraged not to have fixed ideas of manifest from the experiences you desire to have, and let the universe be creative with how they bring them to you. But I feel like if you're feeling bored and dissatisfied, or if you've had this awakening to realizing like you're dissatisfied and bored even though you may be comfortable, you're really being encouraged to see how you can use what you already have to make your life more enjoyable, or to give yourself time and space to just exist and do nothing or do less, so that you can have more time to integrate things, think, daydream, feel. I think feel is important. I wouldn't be shocked if some of you are maybe just dealing with like compassion fatigue or fatigue in general that's causing you to not have the energy to really go within or listen to yourself. No matter what, though, you're doing amazing, sweetie. And I really hope this is like making even a remote amount of sense, because I feel like these messages have been all over the place. And, you know, to be fair, we're only doing 3 piles today, and your messages are coming from literally every corner of the universe. So there could be a lot of different messages for people. And I know everyone here is smart enough to take the messages that are meant for them. But your wishes are meant to come true. And your wishes are bigger and deeper than how you perceive them now. I think there's a quote that says, I wish everyone could have their wildest dreams come true, because then they would realize it's not the answer. And it's true and it's not true, because when our wildest dreams are rooted in our heart, they usually are very fulfilling, but they don't change like who we actually are. You know what I mean? They don't change the fact that it's easy to be dissatisfied when you're not in a state of gratitude, or when you're being hard on yourself, or there's just so many things that I think you're becoming aware of, and there's so many things that are deeper than maybe the way you're looking at them right now. And it's not that you're incapable of seeing the deeper aspects of them, it's just that maybe you just don't have the time or energy to right now. And if there's something that's draining your energy or just draining your ability to like feel good, feel grounded, feel regulated, those might be things you want to pay attention to as inhibitors of following your path and following your journey. You know, 5s are all about change. And I definitely think you're not only going through a lot of changes, but I think what you're desiring is changing, and that's okay. It's okay to let go of what you thought you wanted. You know, if like, let's say you had something you thought would satisfy you, complete you, and you accomplished that, and now you're like, shit, I still feel the same. Well, that's because look at what that thing you accomplished was, and ask yourself, what did I think I was going to get out of this? Because it's usually what you thought, like, and the deeper experiences of it. So rather than, I don't know, I feel like I am going in circles. You're probably going in circles. Fun fact, if you don't know, when I channel, I'm so malleable to the energy that I channel. It literally dictates how I even talk and say things. So it's okay to be unbalanced right now. It's okay to be uncertain. But what's not okay is to deny what's going on and push yourself further than necessary and shame yourself on top of it. I feel like you are being called to look at what you've already cultivated and really use that brilliant strategic brain of yours to ask yourself, how can I buy myself more time to do things that fulfill me, or what am I really wanting, and what do I feel like I need to do that's blocking me from that? I did a reading for myself that was like, what do I think I need to do and what do I actually need to do? Okay, let me just pull that for you. Let's just do that really quickly. Spirit, what does pile 3 think they need to be doing? 3 of Wands. And what do they actually need to be doing? 9 of Swords. Okay, that makes so much sense. You think you need to be plotting your next move, but what you actually need to, sorry, I'm burping, releasing negativity. What you actually need to be doing is releasing the mental hurdles or mental blockages that are keeping you from being able to just sit in the present moment and be with yourself. With this 9 of Swords here, I definitely think that if you have the resources, please seek counseling of some kind. I mean, therapy is a wonderful thing, and I'm not saying like you have to, but the difference between the 8 of Swords and the 9 of Swords is that the 8 of Swords is more like self-induced mental blockages, whereas the 9 of Swords is like intense mental anguish that oftentimes cannot be resolved on your own. It can be, but I definitely think that it could be a lot easier on you to have someone help you and just help you with your mindset, because maybe there are things you won't see or won't realize about your process until someone else points them out to you. And also, maybe you have this constant belief that you need to be going and doing more and accomplishing more because deep down you don't feel good enough, or you feel like if you just allow yourself to enjoy things, then you're being wasteful or you're not living up to your potential. And it's like, man, what about your potential to just like rest and be a sleepy little guy? Like, how will you, the potentials of your restfulness, you won't be able to explore them if you never allow yourself to. But more than anything, I think you don't need to be plotting your next moves. You need to be looking at what makes you feel like you need to be constantly plotting your next moves and what's keeping you. And if you use the future and use like a busy schedule as a way to kind of avoid what's going on in your head or what's going on inside of you, those things that you're avoiding are just going to keep getting louder. Trust me, I know. And so I feel like the universe is really encouraging you now to take the time to really start working on the hidden influences that are keeping you stuck in a cycle of honestly running on a hamster wheel and getting nowhere, because those are the things, or getting you somewhere, but it just takes so much energy and it's just too much on your body, on your soul, on your emotions, whatever it may be. With this 9 of Swords here, you're really being encouraged to get a handle and get help with healing your brain and your mentality, because your brain is what is meant to help you find the steps to accomplish your dreams, and it can't do that if it's constantly in a mode of survival, or if it's constantly pushing you in every which way direction because it's too uncomfortable to sit with yourself, or you can't see clearly because you're seeing through a perception that's rooted in pain or rooted in mental illness. Like, whatever it may be, it's absolutely okay, but it's going to get in the way of your ability to embrace what the universe... I say this all the time, anxiety is the cock block of intuition. And so you may feel like the universe is guiding you in certain directions that it never guided you towards. It's just you felt you had to do that. I'll use myself as an example. A lot of times the universe is asking me to do this very thing. Chill out. Sit with yourself. Reflect. Whereas I'm like, oh, I need to get a video out. Like, if I don't, like, everyone's gonna hate me. Like it's drama. It's my brain's drama, right? When in reality, the universe didn't ask me to do that. I felt like that was my obligation, and I need to. The universe doesn't want me to give if I'm giving from a place of depletion. The universe doesn't want me to give if I'm not in my best energy, because then you guys don't get the best, you know? Like, I think a lot of times we can misunderstand or misinterpret what the universe is trying to guide us towards just because of how we're conditioned to behave by society and by, ooh, I just saw an orb. I feel like there's a lot of angels around you that are giving you a lot of healing. I would really encourage you to pray to your higher guidance that loves you unconditionally to heal your body, mind, heart, and soul before you go to sleep every night. Just see what that does. But prayer doesn't have to be like, it doesn't have to be fancy. And you don't even have to call it prayer. You could just call it talking to the universe. But if it just comes from a genuine place, like, don't be afraid to like talk to the universe more. Talk about what you're dealing with. Talk about what you're frustrated with. Talk about what you're uncertain about. Just to the void, to the trees, to your heart. Like, I promise you the universe is listening. And one thing they want you to know is that they've been giving you lots of signs, actually. And I think you've missed them because you've been too focused on what's going on in your head or what you think you need to be doing. And what you actually need to be doing is paying attention to the fact that you're not in this alone. There's just teams and teams of love and help that want to help you even more than they're helping you now. And what they need is for you to be more open and receptive, because, you know, it doesn't really matter how much guidance they're willing to give if you can't receive it, you know? But they won't stop trying to give it to you. So rest assured, if you don't answer 50 times, I'll call you 51. Like, don't worry. But we're going to go ahead and get into guidance now. And I also felt like, don't tell the other piles. And if you're from the other piles, I love you guys. But I just felt for this one that we needed to add another guidance deck. And since trees seem to be significant, we're going to use the Whispering Woods deck. But also pay attention, like, spend more time in nature. Nature is very healing. Talk to the trees. Trees are conscious and they're really wise and really cool. Even if you can't hear them, talk to them. Tell them your problems. I promise they're like they will listen attentively and they won't give you unsolicited advice. So really 10 out of 10. Spirit that loves pile 3. What guidance do you have for pile 3 that could be most beneficial for them? Hydrate and meditate. Yeah, I need to hydrate too. But I have this app called Plant Nanny that reminds me to drink water, and at the same time you get to like make your own little plants. So if you want like something like that, there's that. Except I feel lots of shame when I forget to track it and then my plants die and then I'm like, ah, shit, like I don't even deserve to be hydrated. But then, like, you know, I start the cycle again. Anyway, I feel really comfortable with you guys. Like, I'm really just being my absolute self, and thank you for being that way. I feel like that's something you need to know as well, is like, I feel like I've been judging myself really harshly as I've been giving this reading, and it's kind of stressful trying to channel and like while the other half of your brain is like, this is coming out wrong and you're flopping. That's not useful or conducive, and it's probably not even, well, I guess it's true depending on who's watching, but that probably goes to show that even when you're trying to do things like rest or do nothing, it seems like your brain doesn't stop going. And so it doesn't matter how much physical energy you have if you're constantly mentally fatigued. Like, one thing I realized is that I need to be more careful about what I'm doing to occupy my brain, because it takes a lot of brain power to dream, to think abstractly. And if we're, you know, mindlessly scrolling or playing hours of Polytopia when we shouldn't be, you know, it will make your brain tired. And sometimes we can forget that our brain needs rest too, and that our brain needs to just chill. And if you're someone like me who has a very hyperactive brain, it takes time and often outside help to give you the skills and tools to be able to start creating mental discipline and start learning how to empty your brain or calm it or quiet it. There's no shame in needing help, but there's no reason for you to suffer unnecessarily. And whatever belief systems you have that have been keeping you in this cycle of like endless action to the point of being drained, like, those are the things that the universe is getting you to try to address so that you can step into your destiny more fully and more easily in a way that's not so draining. Like, your journey and your life path are not meant to be so, your brain's making it harder than it needs to be, which, like, story of everyone's life, I think. But the universe is saying, hey, we're either bringing you the resources or we're encouraging you to use the resources that you have to start making your brain a healthier place and a place you feel comfortable working with and paying attention to, because that relationship with your brain, like that will be some of the best money you ever spend. Like, getting help to be a more functioning human being and a better functioning human being and a calmer one and a more peaceful one, like, priceless, worth it. Anyway, these are funny because, like, I don't even know who I'm talking to, and I don't even know if anything I'm saying is making sense, but what I do know is that y'all have my back, and hopefully I'm having yours. The universe has both of our backs. So let's see what other guidance it has. A few weeks from now. Okay. So maybe if you had a specific question, a few weeks from now could be significant. Maybe you'll hear back about something. For some of you, if you've been looking for a house and you haven't found a house that you like, a few weeks from now, something could be coming on the market that might be right for you, or an answer that you've been looking for is coming a few weeks from now. But specific thing about the house. Another thing as well is with this a few weeks from now, if you are focused that far in the future, I think you're being encouraged to take a step back and focus on the present. So pay attention to how much you're in the future or in the past, because that may be impacting your ability to be present with what your internal world is trying to show you and what the universe is trying to communicate with you. But is there anything else, Spirit, that you would like to guide? Yes, I had a feeling this was going to come out. Don't settle. Dream big. There's more for you. And a new dawn. Good news is coming. Hard times are over. This came out in every single pile, which I love, because I think that we all need to hear that. We all need to hear that, and we all need to know that. But what you are getting is also these, because I just want to see what will come through. Spirit, do you have any other guidance for pile 3, please? We have learned. Take a lesson from the owls. Deeply observe the night, and you'll become a little wiser in the day. Yeah, like, I'm going to be super personal for a second. I've been, like, going through it. Like, not because, like, well, there's a lot of reasons. But one of the reasons is I've been doing a lot of healing. And because of that, I've dislodged a lot of things that were buried deep in the body that now are coming up and surfacing that I need to heal and release so that I can be even full of more light and be able to do more and give more, right? But these terrible, horrible feelings I've been feeling, I haven't wanted to sit with them. I've been avoiding them. In fact, I've been working overtime to avoid them. Thank you, Polytopia. I've been playing that game a lot. And when I find myself getting sucked into something, it's usually because I'm avoiding something that I don't want to deal with. And that avoidance then leads to even worse feelings of guilt, of shame. And it spirals in a negative way. Like, and when I actually take the time to sit with it, it becomes so clear that everything that I'm feeling is not a sign of something I'm doing wrong. It's because I'm doing something right. And these things need to be cleared so that I can step into new versions of myself and you know? So whenever you feel like you are failing or flopping because you're anxious or you're overwhelmed or there's feelings inside of you that you don't understand and you feel like you shouldn't feel that way, don't invalidate yourself. Like, one of the things that I've come to realize is sometimes we just need to spend time embracing the shadowiest parts of ourselves. So embracing my avoidance, embracing, the things that keep me stuck. There's so much wisdom in that, and realizing like, I'm not getting out of bed again. Maybe there are things weighing me down that I haven't been addressing. Like, being conscious of when you feel like shit and when things feel shitty is so important, because I think it's our natural inclination to almost want to abandon ourselves when we feel terrible, because for a lot of us, we just don't want to feel that way. And also, in the way that society operates, there's not a whole lot of room for us to feel that way. You know, we feel like we shouldn't. There's so many worse things going on in the world. And while that's true, that doesn't mean we're not entitled to our feelings and our experiences. And also, feeling like shit doesn't mean that you're doing anything wrong. Oftentimes, it can be that you're doing something right. Change is uncomfortable. Transformation is hard as shit, but it's worth it. And it's just the cycle of life, baby. It's all great. And we're all in this together too. So just know, like, whoever you compare yourself to, you don't see what they're dealing with and the darkness that they're grappling with. And know that there's nothing wrong with darkness. Darkness is so important. It is a part of life here. And we need it. And it serves. So what you need to be doing right now, instead of focusing on light and action and what you think you need to be doing, start giving yourself time and space to address the darkness, whether with someone that you trust or with a professional that can allow you to open up and allow any emotions that need to come out, or just allow you to help, just anyone that can help you heal and can help relieve the burden of feeling like you need to do everything yourself, because you don't need to. And I just want you to know that you're not alone, and it's okay to feel the way that you're feeling. And literally everyone goes through things like this, but you're going through this with the gift of being conscious of the fact that there's more to your experience than just the painful feelings. Like, there's deeper reasons for this, and you're being moved places that are grander and more amazing than you could ever imagine. And like, everything that the universe is bringing to your doorstep that you don't want to look at or that you don't want to deal with is not the universe, wanting to hold you back or hold you down. It's the universe saying, hey, these are the parts of you that need love. These are the parts of you that need addressing, because these are going to be the parts of you that block you from moving forward the longer you let them fester, essentially. Anything else, Spirit? Growth. Yes, the tallest oak tree once started as a seedling. Don't be afraid to start something new. Yeah, I would really encourage you to do new things and just try different things. Like, one thing that I did that really helped me is I'm not on social media. Like, I download it to post my stuff and then I leave. And my brain has gotten so much better just from that. Like, I don't think it's healthy how much information we're taking all the time. And I don't think, like, the human mind is meant to take in that much information all the time. So maybe one thing that your brain needs is like a cleanse from the chaos of constant information being bombarded at you. Maybe you need a new way to move your body, or a new way to get in touch with yourself. Whatever it is, like, just be open to trying new things. But no matter what, everything's leading to growth. Anything else? Music. There's a melody to be heard in the deepest parts of the woods if we only listen. And light is on the back of the deck, which I love. Like, this is all leading you towards the light. And this is what the light does. The light casts a shadow on what's in the dark, and it helps us see what we couldn't see before. So look to the space between the trees for answers. That could even be literal. If there's like a clearing of trees or a gathering of trees around you, maybe there will be an important or powerful sign there that gives you answers. But you guys definitely had the longest reading, and I hope that it wasn't for nothing. I hope that it actually resonated. But we're gonna go ahead and finish off with a postcard from Spirit, which is fitting because that is who your message was from. Ooh, I think that this is actually your message right here, this one that fell out. Dearest you, we have something exciting to share with you. You are a manifesting master and you don't even know it. There will always be enough of everything that you need in your life: money, opportunities, love, kindness. So whatever you are asking guidance about, have faith and be open to the many ways in which you will experience prosperity. Spirit is the source of your supply. Yes! The universe is always reflecting back to you what you believe. So whenever you fall into insecurity, you will be shown an illusion as if your fear were real. But the truth is that the universe is abundant and you are always and have been enough. And abundance is your natural state. If you can imagine something consistently as truth, you can and will create it. You are so on the right path right now. Keep believing and then the seeing will happen. Loving you more and more every day. Oh, I feel like I want to cry. I hope you are crying. Crying is good. Crying is like an orgasm for the soul. But pile 3. This was fun. Thank you for being here. And thank you so much for watching. And thank you so much for letting my ads play in the background while you do anything else but pay attention to them. Because that is one of the simplest and easiest ways to show appreciation for my channel. I don't want you to watch them. Please do something that brings you more joy while they play. If you'd like to support me in other ways, you can like this video, comment down below, let me know how it resonates. You can subscribe if you haven't already, and be sure to click that little notification bell to be notified whenever I upload a new reading. You can check out my merch. You can check out my candles. Be sure to use code ASO10 for 10% off. Feel free to check out the new Lovers candle. I also have my social media, and I think that's it. So thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much for letting me read for you. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this video, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye!